Welcome to TheoTRADE. Don Kaufman here, December 17th, 2025. Seconds to go to the cash close here on this Wednesday afternoon. Santa getting bruised and beaten right now inside of this marketplace. Take a look right here, right now, where we are. We're home. That, people, on your screen right now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one for you. Right here at the SPX, 6720 happens to be none other than the lower edge of the expected move. But again, where I'm going to actually start this evening's update, it's not so much over here in the SPX that we're seeing some sell side activity. As I'm saying, the Santa Claus rally, bruised and beaten. The irony is the Santa Claus rally, the prototypical Santa Claus rally is typically right after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, but that's okay. I still like the idea of Santa being taken to the woodshed by the bears right now. So that just does it for me. Anyway, I really, as I was saying about the lower edge of the expected move, we're just smack on it, and you don't have to force any trades right now because we're highly likely to open pretty much on this lower edge of expected move, maybe a little bit lower than that tomorrow. The next aspect, and really what the crux of course, of this evening's video, take a look. That's it, people. This marketplace just right on it, but take a look at the advanced decline line. This just speaks volumes. And this is exactly what I was actually covering in my weekend update, and that is, you really have to have some fear of a marketplace where, the S&Ps, they're off by 1%, which is still nominal in the bigger scheme of things. Like if you're looking at this move, you're like, it's a phenomenal move to the downside. No, it's not. It's exactly what was expected. That's why I just showed you the expected move. But what is phenomenal is you're basically doing it. That's the closing bell. You're basically doing this kind of price action. I'm pretty, for the most part, a 50-50 advanced decline line, which is is dangerous. Because when you start to think about this objectively, first of all, real sell side activity, and I like to discuss what I construe as real sell side activity. Look, there's just pockets over here of selling, right? Apple's down 1%. That's not, Apple's actually on the stronger side of what the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's actually down almost 2%. And I got to make that point again and again in here where, Apple's actually helping the market. Amazon, it's on the helping side of it, right? It's only down 0.5%. Microsoft is basically flat. Okay, you got me. Google, you got, the one stock market over here. Google's down. Meta's actually down nominally. Nvidia, big hit. Nvidia, almost 4%. Obviously, Tesla down to the tune of 4.6%, and of course, Broadcom another 4.5%. And to throw that in there as well, it's worth bringing up Oracle, because Oracle, forget about what their percentage is today. Down 5.4%. This is a stock that was trading $340, a few weeks ago, and is now trading 178, and on a year-to-date basis is actually facing the possibility of losses. On a year-to-date basis, lost another 5%. It's only up 7%. This is a stock that was up 100% on a year-to-date basis. Just as I said weeks ago, whatever. It's September. It's weeks, people. It's weeks. So the marketplace, isn't, in my opinion, feeling that real sell-side activity. Real sell-side activity, has higher degrees of correlation. This is just pockets of weakness and rotations. Where are we rotating to? We're buying energy. Oh, it couldn't happen to a better sector. Like, this is a marketplace that's just forcing capital, right? Forcing a little capital towards the XLF, the financials, really? Like, who wants to buy them at this point? Not me. But it finished unchanged. And you look down the list, some of the usual suspects, they're putting capital into retail again. In fact, I'll even come down. Let's get crazy. I'll even come down to some of my sector ETFs, which is like XLP, which obviously is a consumer. This thing's had a huge bid back under it. Year-to-date basis is basically flat on the year. I mean, what do you really have in this marketplace? You're buying crap and you're selling AI. That's it. Okay, you really want to, you're buying crap. What's crap? Energy. Okay, energy has a reason for a bid today. Obviously, we're gonna, people are gonna point out like Venezuela and so forth, but push all that garbage aside. Like, don't worry about the geopolitics. Don't worry about the news. Okay, look what's right in front of you. And what's right in front of you is if you're sitting here trying to contemplate, right? Could we rally back? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. Like, I don't want to discount the ability to rally back. But on the other side of that, my point is we haven't even begun to sell off. It hasn't even begun. You're not even scratching the surface. Oh, let's get crazy. Yesterday, Tesla hit an all-time high. Okay, puked back a little bit of it, but yesterday it hit an all-time high. Okay, this morning it hit an all-time high. It just reversed off of it. It's a nominal move. NVIDIA is getting a little bit more interesting because NVIDIA is starting to hit some critical levels. But you know what? Quite frankly, we can talk about NVIDIA. And again, when I'm saying there's not any sell side activity, it's just stuck in the middle with you. All right. NVIDIA hasn't done anything since, that's right, people, July. Okay. Hasn't been a mover since July. Where else do you want to go? You want to go to Google? A couple days removed from its all-time high. Although today looks interesting, right? If the short-term trend is your friend, then go for it. It's some selling going on here. Microsoft, again, looks a little bit like NVIDIA, just knocked back, hasn't done anything since basically June. Okay, and then of course Apple is totally unscathed. And I can't stress this point enough that when the market sells off a few days in a row over here, but you're literally just a few percentage points removed from an all-time high. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear this is unprecedented sell side. What are you talking about? Advanced decline lines, it's crap fest out there. It's sloppy. Okay, you got to get correlation kicking. Otherwise, it isn't even a sell-off. It's just a rotation, end of the year rotation at this point. And I stress that to you because, again, people are looking at this and they're going to try to start to time like, we're going to bounce back tomorrow. We're going to do this. Okay. I argue again, my biggest argument here is we haven't even begun to sell. Okay. Like, what have we done the last couple of weeks? Absolutely nothing. I mean, literally. Okay. You didn't hit expected move. You did nothing 2 weeks ago. You did nothing last week. This week, this is the first time we've hit expected move in quite some time. And that's it. That's what to look at in terms of price action. Now, there is, one other aspect I do want to bring up. If you take a look at the 30-day 1 hour, I've been using this a lot lately. And if you're going to use the 30-day 1 hour, you have to come under here and you have to go futures, adjust for contract changes, hit apply, hit OK, because the futures rolled over. We were trading in December. This back here, this is all Dece. And then this is now March. And I adjusted for contract changes, which when I say I'm adjusting for contract changes, let me be crystal freaking clear with that one. And that is, you see right here, what's the pricing difference? About, $50. So when you adjust for contract changes, what it does is it normalizes your, chart to be, if you will, just the March contract. It like moves the December into the March contract. It negates the 50-point differential in there. And that's super important because people are running technical analysis and MACDs and Fibonacci's and moving averages. You have no idea what the hell you're doing because you didn't adjust for contract changes, which means you don't even have a continuous chart, which means all of your technical analysis is completely negated. But that's just the futures contracts. If you actually did stuff in the SPX, you're fine. But there's a reason. There's a method to the madness of why I'm actually bringing this up. And the method to the madness is I was talking about this incredibly finite range that we've been pinging in and around. Look what happened. We smashed through the range. And what I was bringing up on the weekend update, and again, that was like the crux of the weekend update. What I kept bringing up is like, when you break that range, you will know my name, and my name is Bear. No, you're going to feel it. And you definitely felt that today. There's just no question. This is dealer gamma jumped all over this today. And that dealer gamma, it's market makers. They hedge with the dynamic of the marketplace and they smashed markets a little bit lower. So from that, then you want to start to look over at volatility. Stop looking at the volatility futures that, we're here, we're there. The volatility futures right now are the Jan volatility futures. Like we rolled the contract over and this is also, okay, a huge warning shot being fired. They finished basically unchanged. Even VIX, okay, kind of looked at the marketplace today and thought, nothing's happening. So then I looked down at VVIX, nothing's happening. You want to know why? Okay, because volatility can see the 50-50 advanced decline line. So for those of you thinking that this, again, is like this unprecedented sell-off, I reiterate, okay, don't listen to me, listen to the marketplace, okay? Selling has really yet to begin. It's not the end of the beginning of the end. It's not any of that. Until you see higher degrees of correlation, not even the marketplace believes this is going to be, hostile. Not yet. You got to get some play in here. You really, again, I reiterate, you want to look at the financials. Some big selling needs to come into the financials. You want to look at stuff like Walmart, okay? Who the hell wants to buy Walmart over here? Oh, never mind. Walmart joined the NASDAQ. It's now a tech company. Welcome to Walmart. The next time you walk into a Walmart, that's right. I want you to think tech company over there. And then, okay, you see some wild things going on the screen, okay? Caterpillar getting absolutely decimated inside of today's trade, okay? And a Boeing, right? Nothing. So again, pockets of weakness, predominantly some sell side activity in a handful of tech names, okay, dragged us down about 1%. People, this is not it. Now, last but not least, so you're coming into some holiday trade. And everybody has assumptions about, what holiday trade is going to look like. Let me tell you something right now, okay? Between now and Friday, ain't no holiday trade. Nobody cares, okay? Because it's triple witching. The triple witch is here. It's with us. And that triple witch is it's a little rough right now. Between now and Friday, you're still expecting $82 of movement. The reason I bring that up is the entire week, and again, this entire week had, roughly speaking, I'm just rounding it, $108 expected move. And that was, again, that was the weekly expected move. You see it right there. We've expanded volatility, but the only place that I really see volatility expanding is just in the next couple of days. Because you start moving out to next week, there's your holiday trade. You see where it's like, 20% implied volatility and 20%, and all of a sudden it drops down to 16. Everybody's like, oh, okay. You're not home yet. You're not in the holidays just yet. And you want to be mindful of that. Look, this marketplace creeping lower, okay? But if that advanced decline line breaks, you're going to know it. It's on. And I gave you the sectors and I gave you the stocks to watch. You will know, okay, when this marketplace is under duress, okay? But it's not there yet. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here at TheoTRADE. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.